Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. Let's get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are on the rise this morning with S&P futures up 0.4%, Dow futures up 0.17%, and Nasdaq futures up 0.7%. Treasuries have dropped and equity futures are back in the green as investors take confidence from the Federal Reserve's vow to support economic growth. Reflation trade is back in motion with futures in small cap Russell's 2000 index beating the Nasdaq 100 in early trading. Tesla has added 3%, airlines and cruise operators have advanced, and oil and copper see positive momentum. The yield on benchmark 10-year treasuries has climbed to 1.36%. Over in Europe, the Stock 600 index pushed higher on bets that the vaccination drive will allow economies to reopen. Travel shares and construction companies were some of the most positively affected sectors. The pound strengthened for a fifth day, climbing up over $1.41. Over in Asia, stocks tumbled, led by a retreat in Hong Kong after the city announced its first stamp duty increase on stock trades since 1993. Mainland-based funds sold a record of $2.6 billion worth of Hong Kong stocks through exchange links with Shenzhen and Shanghai. The Hang Seng Index closed down 3%, which is the biggest retreat it's seen in 9 months. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Well, first off, that Hong Kong move was really significant, but it's not really indicated of economic issues. I mean, you saw Germany come out and they actually revised their GDP upward, which is why you're seeing Europe stocks in Europe moving higher, and they're discounting a lot of the sell-off that you saw in Asia last night. But this morning, I've been watching the S&Ps all morning. They've been fluctuating. They're continuing to push higher. Early this morning, they started retreating, but they bounced back, and we're now up. So it looks good for a nice strong opening this morning. You got the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. He's going to be continuing his testimony on the health of the economy in front of the Senate Banking Committee. And I'm keeping an eye on oil as oil continues to move higher ahead of next week's OPEC meeting. Ahead of that meeting, it's believed that Saudi Arabia is really looking to increase its oil output, its production. Initial indications are also that Russia will also be looking to increase their production. It's rather typical for Russia to make these statements. They do this often, and at the end of the day, they come to an agreement. But you got to be watching the price of oil. It may be set for a decline next week when that announcement is made. But I'm keeping my focus on the earnings and watching, earnings reports as I always do.
Mm-hmm. Let's get right into that. Earnings to watch today. Bill, what type of earnings are we looking at?
Well, it starts out with Owing Minor. That's ticker OMI. They delivered a 29-cent beat on higher revenue. You look at the stock, it's up 14% this morning. It was a good beat. Squared, that's ticker SQ. They also released a beat on higher revenue. They released a beat of 8 cents on higher revenue last night. It doesn't really tell the whole story, though, because excluding the gains from, equity investments, both diluted net income per share of the fourth quarter of 2020, it was really 4 cents. And they made most of these gains through an investment that they did through Dash, the recent IPO. So, that's why you're seeing shares of Squared, trading lower this morning. Taking a look at it on the tape right now, I see it's down 3.62%. So shares of Squared, they did not have a good quarter. Six Flags, that's ticker SIX. They missed by 11 cents on higher revenue. Yet, that higher revenue was the key for them. You see the stock trading higher this morning. It's actually up 2.29%. Lowe's, that's ticker LOW, Larry Oscar William. They delivered a 12-cent beat on higher revenue. And you see the stock this morning trading up a little over 2%. Toll Brothers, they came in with a 29-cent beat on higher revenue. Initially the stock was up 3%, but has since given back those gains. And now you're looking at the stock down, 0.24. So Toll Brothers, but those are the ones that I saw that recently came out.
How about insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
3D Systems, that's Triple D, David. They're priced for a 15% move when they release earnings this afternoon. Ticker LB, L Brands, they're set for a 6.8% move when they release earnings. NTAP, Network Appliances, NTAP, they're set for an 8.2% move when they release their earnings. NVIDIA, another semiconductor company, ticker NVDA, they're priced for a 5.7% move when they release this afternoon. And Teladoc, that's ticker TDOC. I see the stock trading a little higher this morning. It's up 2.73% after some big sell-offs. The stock's priced for a 7.3% move when they release. And Groupon, they're releasing tomorrow afternoon, and they're set for a 10% move when they release on their earnings. As I mentioned the other day, Teladoc is interesting because, here you're looking at the stock and it's trading at 260, yet all of the price targets from the major companies are around $200 on the stock. It's a really, COVID trade that other organizations are really getting into, including, United Health and Amazon. So it's going to be hard for them to kind of, increase their guidance when you have, mammoths like these firms coming into their business segment. Last quarter it guided for an adjusted share loss of between 36 and 33 cents. So it's one to keep an eye on today. I don't know if they'll be able to hold these gains that they're seeing in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Well, moving into our economic reports, Bill, what type of reports are we seeing today?
10 a.m. we got new home sales. We also have the investor confidence figures coming out. And at 10:30, you want to be watching the EIA stockpiles report. This is going to move crude oil. If there's another drawdown, that's very bullish for oil. That's what's expected. But if they're adding to it, well, we'll see if oil can, continue to run higher, because that would be a bearish move if they increase the stockpiles. And then, of course, at 10 a.m., we have Fed Chairman Jerome Powell continuing his discussions with the Senate in terms of the health of the economy. Laurel Brainard is supposed to be speaking today at 10:30. She's one of the Fed governors. And Fed Vice Chair Richard Clarida, he's going to be speaking at noon today, and then again at 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Joby Aviation. This is a transportation company that's entered into a business combination agreement with Reinvent Technology Partners, that's ticker RTP, and is expected to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. The combined value of the companies is estimated at $6.6 billion at $10 per share subscription price. Reinvent Tech is up 22.95% in pre-market. In other news, CVS is set to administer COVID-19 vaccine testing in 6 additional states: Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Louisiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, starting tomorrow, February 25th. So CVS share price is up 0.36% in pre-market. One on Quest Diagnostics, ticker DGX. The company's launched a new COVID-19 testing service that provides insight as to an individual's immune response as a result of recent or prior COVID-19 infections. Quest share price is up 0.09% in pre-market. One on Fisker, ticker FSR, and Foxconn. These companies have entered into a collaboration to jointly develop a breakthrough electric vehicle. The projected start date of production will be the fourth quarter of 2023. Fisker share price is up 22.16% in pre-market. In other news, Ford, ticker F, is up 1% in pre-market after the U.S. Post Office's announcement yesterday afternoon that it awarded a 10-year contract to Oshkosh Defense, ticker OSK, to manufacture a new generation of U.S.-built post office delivery vehicles that will drive the most dramatic modernization, in quote, drive the most dramatic modernization of the USPS fleet in 3 decades. Oshkosh share price has also taken a rise from this, and its share price is currently up 8.24% in pre-market. In other news, Mark Forged, an integrated metal and carbon fiber additive manufacturing platform, is merging with a SPAC called One, that's ticker AONE, to be listed on New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol MKFG. One share price is up 10.97% in pre-market. One on ExxonMobil, ticker The company has agreed to sell most of its non-operated upstream assets in the UK and Northern North Sea to Hitek Vision for more than $1 billion. Exxon share price is up 0.71% in pre-market. Lastly, for me, Autodesk, ticker ADSK, is acquiring water infrastructure software provider Innovyze for $1 billion in cash. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific events and industries. It really allows me to get right on those hot stories as they're breaking. Um, you know, I'm starting off with my FANG alert. It's important to note that the congressional hearings start tomorrow on the big tech's market dominance and how they're supposedly or allegedly stifling competition. It's really been the weakness behind the tech sector the last few days. But Apple, I see that Apple's, it seems to be planning to increase their dividend. This was made on comments at their virtual shareholder meeting. Google is said to be working on enhancements to its Google Pay, their digital wallet that they offer. And my Dow Jones 30 alert, this just hit the tape just a second ago, so I'm calling out now. Johnson & Johnson, J&J vaccine, is effective in preventing COVID-19, the FDA panel said in its briefing documents ahead of the Friday panel meeting. So Friday is going to be the big announcement, but they just came out and said that it's effective. So that's a big news, big shot in the arm, I guess, for J&J. Intel, you got to watch this. This is an interesting story. President Joe Biden will be signing an executive order sometime later today to address the global semiconductor shortage that forces numerous companies to cut their production forecast, for 2021. The president's ordering a 100-day review of the semiconductor supply chains targeting 4 specific areas: EV batteries, semiconductor chips, rare earth minerals, and pharmaceuticals. So this is very interesting. You're going to see some movement in the semiconductors sector off of this news. Salesforce, that's ticker Charlie Richard Mary, CRM. I see that it's moving higher ahead of earnings tomorrow. They've got that EPS release tomorrow afternoon. It's trading about 238 right now. CVX, Charlie Victor X-Ray. This is Chevron. They broke the $100 mark as oil's continuing to rally. It's something to keep an eye on. I don't know if this is going to be able to hold. I'm a little concerned. Got that OPEC meeting. They're going to be talking about increasing production. That's not positive news for some of the oil companies. And I see a news story on Apple where Piper is really believes that they're going to be developing a full-blown branded electric vehicle. So that was kind of an interesting story. My dividend alert hit on UNH today, United Healthcare, as they're declaring a dividend of $1.25. They declared that this morning. My retail alert went off on TJX as they released their earnings report. These guys missed by 35 cents on lower revenue. Here's the problem. They have 690 stores still closed. And you're like, why are they still closed? Well, because the vast majority of them are closed and they're located in Europe. And that's really hurt their revenue this quarter. And the reason why they're closed in Europe is because of government mandates over there. CVS, this is the drugstore chain. They added another 6 more states where their pharmacies will be offering the COVID-19 vaccines. I noticed GameStop, ticker GME, their CFO just announced his resignation after the recent stock trading frenzies that were going on. And my contracts alert. This one actually hit yesterday, but it's worth mentioning. Ticker WKHS. This is Workhorse. They hit because they had my contract alert because they lost a contract with United Postal Service, USPS. The net result was the stock dropped by 50% before being halted. OSK, Oscar Sam Kilo, they won it. They won the contract, and that stock is up over 8% this morning. Very interesting story. You want to see, expect more volatility in both stocks today.
Well, moving into our trade talk picks for today, I'm picking Fisker, so ticker FSR. Just off the news of what they're doing with Foxconn, the collaboration to make a breakthrough EV. It's hot news. Electric vehicles are hot news right now, so there's definitely some momentum with that. Stock price is up 22.16%, but it's not a huge price tag. I still believe, we're looking at under $20 Right. Share price is still under $20, $19.93. So I could see this having some more momentum. It might take a dip before it goes back up, maybe early in the market. So I'm watching and deciding, do I get in right at the open? Do I wait a little bit? It's something I'm going to watch for as it opens. But this is one I do expect to see some positive momentum from today. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
Looking at NTAP, NTAP, I think that the, earnings, could be actually could deliver a nice lift to the stock. The option volume was positive. And then there's some comments that the CEO made last quarter, which I thought were rather interesting. In the last quarter statement, he talked about how they introduced significant new products and services, which helped to further advance their data fabrication strategy. Data fabrication is very important in chip making. They believe that they're a primary beneficiary of the increased importance of data, and they're uniquely positioned to help customers with their digital transformations. The CEO went on to say that he's confident in their ability to drive long-term growth and extend hybrid cloud leadership and deliver value for their customer and partners and shareholders. All positive news. The guidance that they gave last quarter was a little wide, but I think they can come in over $1 on their EPS, and you could see some a nice move in the stock after they release the earnings. I'm playing this for the day. I'm looking to try and get in under 69, and ride it for probably 1% or $1 during the day today.
Well, moving into what's hot off the press. So this is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak that will be moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So looking at our newswire alerts and seeing all of the headlines that are streaming in, Bill, which are the ones that we should be letting traders know about?
HPQ, this is Hewlett Packard. HPQ to acquire HyperX for $425 million was just announced. I see something on Hanes brand, their champion brand of underwear. They just signed a they just signed a multi-year pact with GOAT. What they're doing is they're collaborated with Muhammad Ali brand in order to bring about some new underwear where they're talking about greatest of all time. I see Toll Brothers expects to deliver the most homes in its history this year. That's ticker TOL, Toll Brothers, which released earnings earlier this morning. Sunrun, this is interesting, ticker RUN. Sunrun expands home solar, their battery offering in Texas right now. IBM and Siemens and Red Hat, they launched the hybrid cloud initiative. This was done for the industrial firms to be able to work and make decisions off of, what they consider to be real-time data.
Visor, ticker PFE, and Seven Bridges have formed a partnership regarding the development of their data management.
Ticker SDC, Sam David Charlie, Smile Direct Club. They're partnering with National Dental for dental services world nationwide. Interesting.
There's one on Big Commerce, ticker BIGC, and Walmart, ticker WMT. They've got a partnership on the Walmart marketplace for merchants.
Is that the name of the company? Big Commerce? I just know it as Big C.
Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing.
Same here. So that'll do it as far as what's hot off the press. But traders, keep in mind that you can receive these same breaking stories just like us simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial today. It will definitely up your trading game. Lastly, moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from yesterday. I didn't have a pick because I wasn't on the air, so Bill is going to share his for us. How did yours end up doing, Bill?
I guess I did okay. I mean, my pick yesterday was Boeing. Mainly because it was really coming to light that the issue with that plane was really on the Pratt Whitney side, and that news I thought would push the stock higher the day before it ran up to 220. The stock opened at 214.15, ran as high as 214.75, but it was unable to really sustain a real strong run based on the way the market was yesterday.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. The traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.